Shona, you had written that, let's see, quite a few dating-related topics, but you wanted to talk about Charlie Kirk.
I knew it.
I saw Charlie Kirk hater in the title of the video, and I want to say I think hater is a very crude way of defining my thoughts on him. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that. I certainly did not celebrate his death. Regarding the super chat I saw earlier, I think it was horrible. My stomach dropped the day I saw it, and I feel for his family. I have empathy for his family, which is something he actually didn't believe in. He believed empathy was a new age term. But overall, I'd say that he promoted a lot of really dangerous and harmful agendas and rhetoric throughout his career.
Really quick, what are those?
I think one that stood out to me specifically was the Islamophobic things he would say.
Yeah.
So he said, Islam is the knife that slit the throat of America, which is just no context. He tweeted that. Mm-hmm. Additionally, he said, in relation to Mamdani running for NYC mayor, and you can have whatever thoughts you want on Mamdani, like I lean left, but some of the things he talks about, like even I have questions about that. Mm-hmm. But he said, in relation to him running, he said, Muslims, they bombed America on 9/11, and now you want a Muslim in office. Nothing to do with his politics, just straight up Islamophobia. He calls Muslims conquerors, invaders. Mind you, I mean, like, I respect Christianity and all religions. I don't think we should generalize religions like that. But he said those about them, when, mind you, Christians have in the past, like, the Trail of Tears, the treatment of indigenous people, chattel slavery justified by the Bible, the encomienda system, the Crusades. Like, there's so much that all religions have done that's harmful, and I don't think you can suddenly say things like that about Islam.
So, I mean, there's a lot there.
Sorry, I have a lot of
You've
thoughts.
kind of shotgunned a whole bunch of points. It's some of these are not my particular wheelhouse, and obviously Charlie Kirk has like thousands of hours of content online, and I'm not necessarily prepared to defend like every single thing he's ever said, just because I would have to know the precise points. Really quick though, just off the top of my head, an immediate rebuttal to your point, this idea that Christians did crusades. Most of these crusades were actually in response to Muslim conquest. You see like Muslim conquest in like Spain, for example, reaching into Europe, going to Vienna. So most of these Christian conflicts as it relates to Islam and Muslims were actually repelling invasions into Christian land. So Muslims did conquest all the way up to Vienna. So this idea that, you know, Muslims throughout all of history have been a completely peaceable people is ridiculous. I don't think, well, you could look at pretty much any group throughout history and say no group has really been a peaceable people.
No group has.
No group. Well, but that would include even, for example, Native Americans. But because you did mention the Trail of Tears, I would point out, though, that, you know...
And the re-education of Native Americans.
Well, okay, well, hold on. We're getting into a whole bunch of different wheelhouses here. In any case, though, I think it's valid to have specific criticisms over things Charlie has said. Again, I'm not I don't know what the right word is. I'm not like an encyclopedia of every single thing he said. I'm not an encyclopedia of all the defenses of everything he said. Also, people tend to mischaracterize his arguments, leaving out critical context.
I quoted what he said. Islam is the knife that slit the throat of America. And you don't have to be an encyclopedia, but I'd love for you to tell me what you think of that statement specifically.
I don't know the specific context.
That is just a tweet.
Well, hold on. So you do realize, though, Charlie Kirk would be live streaming and he'd be speaking for hours on end. Mm-hmm. So for you to just throw out a statement.
This was standalone, right?
Standalone.
Yeah, like he didn't say this in the context of a long conversation. He tweeted this.
What did he say?
Islam is the knife.
Can we, just for reference?
Pull it up.
Just pull it up. Then I could give my
And he also tweeted the thing about Mamdani, like, oh, Muslims, they bombed America during 9/11. Mm-hmm. Now you want to vote a Muslim into office. Those were standalone tweets.
I would say that that's fallacious argument. If that's what he said, I think that'd be fallacious.
Yeah, that's completely...
But also, my understanding is...
Islamophobic.
My understanding would be that Charlie Kirk, as a Christian, he would want Christian doctrine and values to have influence in the way we govern the United States.
Like a theocracy?
well, I don't know if that was necessarily his prescription, but he would want the guiding principles and values of Christianity.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, personally, growing up around Catholic school, I think Christianity has many values, and you don't even have to specifically tie them to Christianity. Like, just overall morals,
Sure.
it should be incorporated into the government. But I can't, again, like, it's fine that he's Christian and he promotes those values.
You know what, though? I think it's fair to say that Charlie Kirk has said things that you object to, or that you might even, well, hold on, that might even could be objectionable across the board. Absolutely. If you presented to me something that Charlie Kirk said, I could be like, I disagree with that.
So can you please tell me that you
wrong.
Disagree with him saying Islam is the knife that slit the throat of America, and that...
So hold on. Is that what, repeat what he said.
I've said it so many times. Islam is the knife that slit the throat of America.
In reference to 9/11, like the context
not necessarily,
would be
just in reference to all his feelings about Muslims.
But is it in reference to 9/11? Wait, hold on. Do you deny that? Who wasn't it? Like, who were the hijackers?
I think Donald Trump is the knife that slit the throat of America. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'm so glad we're on the same page about that.
Disagree on that.
You said fair enough, though.
I'm saying fair enough, not in agreement with you.
Okay.
I'm saying fair enough. You can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't agree. Disavow. Disagree.
Yeah.
When he said like Islam is the knife that slits the throat of America, did he mean like Islam, or did he mean like ISIS and like the?
He said Islam. He said Islam.
Bad.
He did not.
I went on Twitter and I think.
Did you find it?
I found a picture. I can't 100% verify this, but it's a screen grab and it's pretty close to what you're saying. But do you guys want to read it?
Let's read it.
We can pull it up.
It is real, by the way.
Is this the right one?
Okay, yeah, I paraphrased
I
it.
can't confirm that this was. I'm still looking for it.
Okay.
But again, like, I mentioned a lot of things he said about
Is the
Muslims.
sword the left is using? Okay, so you did misquote him. I do want you to acknowledge that.
Okay, I do not remember all the things he said word for word, but I mean, overall, he's just said a lot of harmful things about Islam.
Okay. Do you think
He's also very xenophobic.
Just curious, do you think that
Okay.
you're against like a theocracy, right?
A full-on theocracy.
Like, so for example, would you be against Sharia law in this country?
Look, I think.
Well, no, answer the question.
Okay. It depends on it would depend on how it's implemented.
What do you mean
Because
how it's implemented?
Listen. Can I expand on that? I think there are countries that have Sharia law that don't treat women well. For example, Afghanistan. I'm completely against the treatment of women in Afghanistan and certain Sharia law. The same way I would be against like a government completely controlled by Christian values, like not incorporated, but like a full-on Christian theocracy. I don't think religion should rule the government. I think you can incorporate values of a religion into the way you lead a country.
Why can't you just answer the question?
Repeat your question.
Do you think that there should be Sharia law in the United States?
No, not necessarily. No.
But why?
That wouldn't
I
even
guess
make
why
sense.
Why the need to like muddy the waters there?
Okay, well,
Because you're saying, so what if there was a manifestation of Sharia law that you personally found acceptable? Because I can agree with you. Like there are various Muslim majority countries that
don't treat people well. Sure, yeah.
Well, no, I was about to say that have varying degrees of, liberties and freedoms for their populace. Some of them are less oppressive. Some of them are more oppressive.
In my ideal world, I don't think religion is playing a role in government.
I found the actual quote, by the way.
Sure, we can pull it up.
It's a response to a video.
Oh, there we go. See, that's kind of more what I said, right? Or no, it's not, is it?
No, it's the same thing, but he's responding. This is what the full context is, as far as I understand.
There's a clip. Okay, so
Again, regardless of a clip, I don't think that's a very great statement to make. I think, like you said, Islam's not a fully peaceable religion or something like that. I think
I suppose this could apply to all religions, right?
I think the vast majority of Muslims are not for terrorism and not for ISIS and not for 9/11. That's not.
I can agree with that.
That's like liberal Islam, which is like widely practiced today, is normal and acceptable and peaceful and should not be subject to the things that he said about Islam. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Okay.
I hope you can agree with that.
Agree with what specifically?
That like Islam as a religion is not inherently.
But I'm a little bit
terrorist or
confused.
anything
Wouldn't
like that.
you make a criticism if there were Christian nationalists who wanted to govern the United States under a Christian doctrine? Would you object to that? And
I would completely object
Would
to
you
that.
think that would be like potentially slitting the throats of liberty in America?
Yeah, sure.
So how would it be then if that's your position, how could you possibly have an objection to somebody saying, well, this other religion over here, that would be slitting the throats of Americans if used by the left?
Because the left isn't even using Islam to slit the throat of America. That doesn't even make sense. No one's trying to incorporate Islam values into the government here. Are they? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, perhaps not at full scale, but like if you look at Dearborn, Michigan, for example, it's like a completely Muslim majority area. You have women walking around, and I don't know what your position on this is, but women walking around in like full burqa, full is it niqab? I think I'm not entirely
that's
sure.
the one that covers everything but your eyes.
Yeah, so I don't know how that.
That's completely acceptable, by the way.
What's that?
For someone to wear that.
What's that?
That clothing. Like
you say it's unacceptable?
No, it's acceptable.
You think it's acceptable?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
it's freedom of religion. It's in the First Amendment, right?
Okay, sure. I suppose.
What do you mean you suppose?
Yeah, people are free to do it.
Is it?
But would you like to see that being the status quo for the entirety of America?
But the entirety of America is not Muslim, so that would never be the status quo.
I know, but I'm just talking hypothetically.
If the whole of America was somehow Muslim and practicing Islam and chose to wear the niqab, which is like a very far-stretched hypothetical, then yes, because we have the right to practice whatever religion we believe in.
Question for you though. Let's say, for example, you realize that there's different jurisdictions, right? So you have like local jurisdictions where it's like the city level, then you have county,
and then you have federal,
then you have state. Would you object to assume there was a Muslim majority in a county? Sure. Michigan, for example, and they said, you know what, we're going to pass a law that requires women to wear the niqab.
I would disagree with that.
You would disagree? You would fight that?
What I'm advocating for is the freedom to practice your religion, practice your speech, your beliefs, whatever that is. So no one could enforce a certain belief or anything like that on you, right?
Okay.